Good evening, my fellow griefers and trolls, and welcome back to the wonderful world of Elder Scrolls Online. So, in the last one, we did more stuff for King Emmerich. Okay, I can't talk with these in. But, yeah, Vampire Update is here, and I am loving every second of it. But, if you haven't guessed by the name of the video already, we will be playing, through the Antiquities Update. Well, part of this whole Greymore Update 26 thing, if that makes sense. Now, I've been fooling around with it a little bit. I'm like only level 2 in it. But that's what, that's kind of how you get to know things. And, yeah, it is under... It's under journal, and these are the different stuffs that you can, scry and such. And this whole scrying thing, it's like a game of connect the dots. And the more you get, I've noticed, the higher your chances will be of finding the exact location of the thing you're looking for. So because we got all of them, that little outline, there is only one of. And we're right next to it as well. But before we go and look for the dig site, we have scrying and excavation, which is the two parts of the new Antiquties System. And I was following the update since day one. The very first I heard about it, I was aggressively typing on my keyboard, doing some research into it. Basically what the Antiquity System is, for those that are not familiar with it, it is basically us doing archaeology type stuff. So the scrying refers to you using like your fancy magics, as we just saw, for locating the general area of the dig site. Now, it's not going to give us specifically where the dig site is, but it's going to give us the rough area, which is what the outline is. And the excavation, depending on what we're doing, it really, what we have in here, it's going to be difficult to find. So it's quite frustrating at times. But yeah, that's basically what those are. And it's interesting because now if we go to collections, we have tools and the Antiquities eye is in there now. And this is like a little memento thing I've noticed. I'm not sure what this does, but it's so weird. You can like assign it to your wheel. So, yeah, it indicates a dig site. I'm kind of reading it here because I never really fully looked over this stuff, but let's get to the damn thing. Oh, well, that was easy. So this is the difficult part, quote unquote. So, as I understand it, what we're looking for is going to be somewhere within that general outline. Wait. There's our bonus item. And there's the actual item we're looking for. And we got a lead. Warped Scrying Dipper. Bonus loot, Zenithar's Measure. And there is, there is an Antiquity Guild. Shrouded in Mystery. And, the way where you go and get this is in Solitude with the Antiquities Guild. So you, in order to mess around with this new Antiquity system, which is interesting and I love it, you will need to download or have the Greymore update and DLC. So, the update will put part of it in the game, but to get your foot in the door and get the 2 skill lines of excavation and scrying, you do need the Greymore update, so you can go to Solitude and get the skill lines. Yeah, it's a interesting, but in my own personal opinion, a bit of a complex system. It's simple, but at first it's, in my opinion, a little bit intimidating. But it's basically just a game of connect the dots, so it's not as much of a puzzle as I was expecting it to be. Because when I was going through the updates and everything, reading through the forums on my phone, I was, it said something about there being a puzzle. So I thought this was going to be a little bit more difficult than, in hindsight, a little bit more difficult than it actually is. And the reason I am doing this stuff in Artaem is when I was asking Omar about, this stuff. He's kind of been learning this. He said the fastest way to level it up was to come and do shit in Artaem. So that's pretty much why we're here. There's the bonus item. And yeah, we're not always gonna get them on the first try, but it usually respawns within the area, and because of it being such a small fucking island, I can understand why Omar suggested us coming here, because it's not gonna be too hard to find when it moves. I don't think we're gonna get anything on this one. Based on the timer at the top there. Yep. But yeah, third time's a charm though. Bonus item. Try down here. Damn it. Yeah, everyone's coming here and scrying. By the looks of things. You stay roughly on this side of the island. Okay, where did it move to, Jin? Oh, it moved back over here. Still nothing. Damn it. And it moved back over here, so I guess it just moves around in this small circle. Oh, there, we found it. And there we go. And part of the reason I think this is amazing is when you're going through dungeons or fighting bosses in the world, you can find treasures which get you a fuck ton of money. And what Antiquity System does is it adds in a new way of getting said treasures. And yeah, excavation increased to 3. Increases the amount of time you have available when excavating a dig site. Yeah, we kind of need that. Scrying isn't all the way up, though. Let's take a look at the treasures and see what we got. So this is worth 40, 250. Wait. We got 2 of them. Where's my calculator at? Let's do some math on this. So, the Faded Psijic Folio, because we have 2, that's roughly 500 gold we can get out of that. And then just another 40, so... So yeah, it's roughly 580 gold, and then just from the little bit of scrying we did. But yeah, it's simple, but it can be at least in my opinion, quite intimidating. At first, maybe not right away, but I just think this is interesting. And I did say in the last video I uploaded on my channel I was gonna do a Far Cry video. I'm pre-recording this, so this is gonna go up after that. I've just been busy playing through Greymoor and seeing stuff. I have not played through the main story yet. I'm gonna wait to do that on my other character, as much as it's gonna pain me to wait that long. But yeah. That's pretty much my plan. I'm gonna wait till I can do it on my other character. I could do it right now, but I also want to wait till we get everything in the base game done before we do any DLC content, because I love that unique dialogue. I am a sucker for it. And because I'm a vampire, I will be getting unique dialogue in Greymoor, so I could technically play through Greymoor on this character and record it. But I really don't want to at the same time, since I've already gone through all the DLC content in the game on this character, but so he would get unique dialogue with some of the stuff, but I've already done some of the side quests, so at the same time, it's like I really don't think I should. Where in the name of the divines? I mean, I could take a break for a second, because I don't think you guys want to watch me do an entire video of just looking for stuff, but real quick, I just want to go over the vampire stuff. It's interesting. The Swarming Scion, I love it. Basically, you turn into a mighty vampire lord, and with the whole... Originally, the ultimate for vampires is just this big swarm of bats flying around you and dealing damage if they happen to hit an enemy. But with the Swarming Scion, which this is the final upgrade of it, so I've already upgraded it. It's basically you turn into a vampire lord, and a bunch of bats fly around you. So it's a combination of the previous ultimate and the new base ultimate, and it's quite good in my opinion. I've seen some people that really hate the new update and change for the vampires, but I've seen more people that love and appreciate it than there are people who seem to hate it. So that's a thing. But yeah, it basically does what the Bone Colossus does if you've ever played as a Necromancer in ESO. So the Bone Colossus, you know how it just when you transform into that, you have a little ring around you that does damage. Well, that's what this does. And like how Bone Colossus increases your max health, stamina, and magicka, when you go into your Swarming Scion or Vampire Lord form, it does the same thing. Only, if you haven't read any of this already, as I'm explaining, you heal for basically the amount of damage you deal. 16% of it, as you can see it says right there. And on top of that, we get to see enemies through walls, and then there's the part about the bats there at the bottom. So this is a fun one, Arterial Burst, and this is a ability that is going to be the bane of a lot of healers' existence. A lot of these new passives and vampiric abilities that they have for the vampire now are, as Omar put it yesterday, a glass cannon. So with this, you deal 50% more damage based solely on your missing health. Less health you have, the more damage you do. Sated Fury works in combination with it, as the cost, as you can see, health. And it's quite a fun one to use, in my opinion. Like, as you can see, it takes away a good chunk of my health, and it keeps draining. But if the target is killed, or the target is not killed, I regen it. So healers are gonna have to learn to work with vampires in dungeons a lot on that. And then there's Blood Mist, which heals me for all the amount of enemies for all the damage I do to enemies inside of that little misty bit. As you can see, I heal for all the amount of damage I do for that, so that's quite an interesting thing, and I don't think a lot of healers are going to appreciate going up against that, because with this ability right here, it basically health. Me not having health is good, but I've noticed by going through dungeons yesterday and the day before that you literally cannot use that ability if someone heals you. So take, for example, yesterday what happened was I was going through a dungeon, I was spamming the live it out of that ability. Damn it, we were this close, but yeah, I was spamming the live it out of that ability, and each time the healer in the dungeon, and I understand they were just doing their job, so I can't be mad at them too much, but each time they healed me, it took that buff off that this ability gives you. So healer getting healed is a massive cock block when you're trying to use that ability. And I noticed with that first ability that pretty much works in tandem with it. How do I say this? You have, for the Ethereal Burst, you need to be up close and personal to use it. You just can't use it when you have missing health and expect that to go into weapon damage. It's basically you using your vampiric claws. And I love it. And they kept the vampiric drain ability, which I was never a fan of. I could probably test that out, but I don't want to waste skill points. Well, at least they found something. I'm hoping I didn't get what happened to Omar last night. Last night, his thing spawned inside of a mountain. Which was funny to me a little bit, but I still think it was messed up. Where's the bonus item? Something's telling me we're not gonna get the actual item itself. Yep, called it. Hello. I did a little bit of scrying in Aradon to start things off. I've done a little bit of it in Skyrim, but for the most part, I haven't really done much of the scrying stuff. And I mean, it's not just treasures you can find doing this, you can also find, like, armors. You can find armors that are just overall bad, but can have some good uses to them. Like, let's see. The Thracian Stranglers, for example. The only reason I would actually go and look for this damn thing is so I can research the Divine's trait on it. And nothing else. I mean, this is just so bad. I do not like this in any manner, shape, or form. I mean, I'm sure there's people that can find some use out of that, but me, I'm just like, you're taking away my damage shields. And there's the Bloodlord's Embrace, which is decent. But yeah, it's all very convoluted and interesting. You can get armor, treasures, and I think that's about all you can get. Wait, no, you can also get furnishings and cosmetics from it. Three people on the same dig site. And we ran out of digs. Okay, so on the... Oh, speaking of Omar. So, I'm gonna give you an example of stuff you can get from these dig sites. I have not gotten any cosmetics or furnishings for my house / guild hall at any point yet, but I'm gonna work my way up to that. You can also get a mount that Omar really wants. It's this dwarven wolf, and I think it sounds incredibly cool, but an example of these cosmetics furnishings and mounts you can get from doing this antiquity stuff is the Seed of the Snow Prince, which Omar got almost immediately. He's been grinding the fuck out of this. And he also got that from Cold Harbor. So you can get a lot of interesting things from Omar is in Cold Harbor again, that's funny. But yeah, it's a very interesting and convoluted system, and I like it. Like, it's one of those things, in my opinion, that is simple at first, but then it well, complex at first, but once you kind of get it all figured out, it's pretty much all simple and straightforward, kind of like ESO. Starting out, things can be overwhelming, but then when you kind of get to learn the game a little bit more, play it a bit more, familiarize yourself with it, you kind of are like, yeah. Also, this is Vlad. Vlad is my pet, death hound. And I think it's awesome that they added death hounds back in. It's really appropriate that they did that with the whole Greymore being about vampires and witches thing. Blackreach is also back in Greymore. Blackreach is as cool as ever. It's a nostalgia trip. And I'm not even mad about it. Labyrinthian came back into the game as a public dungeon. And no, it is... It's solely Western Skyrim, so this is all we've gotten in Greymore so far. Just this small corner of it, so we have Solitude, Morthal, and where's... Karthwatch. I don't remember that town in Skyrim, but I think it was in Skyrim, and we also have Dragon's Bridge somewhere. It's somewhere in here. I've been to Dragon's Bridge in the game. I know it's in here, but yeah. So, Labyrinthian. These great lifts take you down to Blackreach just like they do in Skyrim, and yeah, Morthal, funny enough, like as I said, Greymore is about vampires. For people who have actually played through Skyrim, you know there was a vampire problem in Morthal. So yeah, when I went there for the first time, I found a hiding spot, the little baskets you use in the Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood stories and missions, which just made me laugh. Kilcreath Temple, but yeah, there's a lot to explore in this up and coming update. Which, if you haven't gotten the Greymore DLC already, it's worth it. There's some stuff that's broken, though. I walked right past this like a dumbass. Money! And there we go. Oh, we got, what is that, 111 gold? Okay, well, we finally found the last one. But yeah, it's been a bit of a blast doing all this. Yeah, I might invite Omar to the party after this video is over. And yeah, the scrying is, it's almost to level 3. I mean, this whole scrying thing just reminds me back with the whole Psijic Order stuff. I'm gonna think, I don't think I ever finished that on the channel, but yeah, this has been fun. So until the next one, this has been Eric the Plague Doctor 981YT, and I will see all of you wonderful people in Dishonored. So, until then, bye!